And Stephen Caliendo, political science professor at North Central College, back with us this morning. We're going to keep saying your title because it's why you're here talking to us
just
about
like
politics.
some random dude you found on Jackson Street.
Yes.
Just told him to come on in here.
Exactly. We want to make sure you know that he knows what he's talking about.
Right.
All right, so let's talk about Kamala Harris. That's what today is all about. All of this has culminated. What does she need to touch on tonight? What should she focus on?
Look, I mean, there's some substantive things she's going to focus on. She's continuing to introduce herself to the American public. But I got to tell you, the most important thing she does tonight is not blow it, not blow the energy. 3 straight nights of lots of really good energy here. She'll be the culminating speech on the culminating night. She's got to keep it going. They set her up really nicely. The warm-up acts were excellent. It's time for the headliner to do what she needs to do.
Well, speaking of warm-up acts, Oprah Winfrey made a surprise speech last night, and she rallied the crowd to keep moving forward. Let's listen.
Let us choose the sweet promise of tomorrow over the bitter return to yesterday. We won't go back. We won't be set back, pushed back, bullied back, kicked back. We're not going back.
Oprah rarely gets into politics. So what kind of impact do you think, Stephen, that her speech and her appearance there might have?
Yeah, just the fact that she came at all and that she was willing to sort of show, First of all, do you remember when we were kids what a 70-year-old looked like? It did not look like what Oprah looks like today. That was wild, right? It was unbelievable. But I think, her presence matters so much to particular generations. I think the younger people probably don't know that much about Oprah. Also, she mentioned it's great to be back. You can come home again. She mentioned her Chicago connection, and so that was important too.
And let's move on to former President Bill Clinton. He had a very lengthy speech. He had some zingers about former President Trump, and he also talked about himself. So let's listen to that.
He's about me, myself, and I. So the next time you hear him, don't count the lies. Count the eyes.
So it turns out he rewrote his speech after hearing some of the speeches and all the energy and enthusiasm the nights before. All right, what do we think about this and what impact this could have on a really big week here?
Yeah, that was, and that quote was it's one of the ones that stood out to me
Yeah,
too.
me too.
That's going to be that was kind of Johnny Cochran-esque, really concise sort of thing. There's a nostalgia about a lot of former Democratic leaders, particularly Bill Clinton, in this arena, and so he as you see here, he got a very warm welcome. A lot of folks are excited that he came. Policy-wise, the party's moved to the left of where Bill Clinton was. He probably wouldn't have become the nominee in 2020, 2024. It's sort of a different party than when he was ahead of it. But nonetheless, he has that gravitas, and it was a very successful presidency in so many ways. We remember the scandals, but we also remember a lot of economic prosperity in those times. And so Bill Clinton represents that to the Democrats in this group.
So all leading up to tonight, the big night, of course. All right, Stephen, thanks so much. Ahead at 5:45, we'll be talking about some of the DNC star power outside of Oprah and if it makes a difference to vote.